Welcome back to Jump Shot Therapy, everybody. My name is Dylan Bretto. I am the boss baby. I am the human hot take. I am with the human sweater vest, Alfredo Velez.
Yeah.
I am with Big Brother Steven, holding it down in JST South.
Shit's bomb, bitch.
And I'm actually, to my left, it's a pleasure to introduce the newest member of the dark side, Hunter Davis. So in case you guys didn't know this, Hunter had Android phones and Samsung phones, and then we got a text message earlier today at around, 8:30, 9 o'clock?
No, like 9, 10-ish.
10-ish?
Yeah.
With a blue bubble.
God damn.
I'm dying. Oh my God, what happened?
He was trying to laugh and then it just,
everything just went bad.
post-nasal drip.
Yeah. Hunter went Team iPhone today. So now our group messages will send flawlessly because one turd isn't fucking it up. This is for Verts. This is the NFL show. This is the most popular NFL show on the internet. Fuck everybody else.
Facts.
Fuck everything else that you say.
Facts.
This is with me and 3 other my buddies. One of them happens to be my big brother, and we talk about football and all sorts of things.
And also, Hunter broke his mic.
Hunter did break his mic, so we have to replace that. So we're using backup microphone, which is good enough for today. Still
Super
good
clutch.
quality.
Super clutch.
Super clutch that I kept that. Hunter is also high again. High Hunter makes his return. I guess this is like...
He's more mellow today, though.
He's definitely more mellow. He's got 2 pairs of earphones in, one for the podcast and one for music. He's trying to...
I'm listening
He also
to
doesn't
paper
have
planes
5
right
Big
now.
Mac meals
But MIA.
in front of his face.
Paper planes?
And
All I want to
take your
do is...
money. All I want to do is...
And also, he bought basically a 2-liter...
of Gatorade.
Gatorade. And
Because when
and
he gets
it's
high,
done.
he's really thirsty.
I drink it all.
You didn't speak into the mic.
I drank it all.
I swear to God, if you, I'm gonna punch you in the face if you don't keep that mic to your face.
Can I have these?
Might as well punch him.
Made in Germany, fuck.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna end up punching him. Yes. So 4 Verts NFL show, best NFL show on the internet. Fuck out of here with anybody else. We are gonna have a nice little show for you. Some topics. Litter shit makes its return again, like it will every show, no matter what. We're gonna do predictions, and then we'll get out of here. This episode is sponsored by JumpShotTherapy.com.
Yeah.
Where the website is live. We got the most popular piece of content that's on the site, which is my Colin Kaepernick article, which is fantastic.
Shout out to ShannonsDay.com.
Shout out to ShannonsDay.com.
Shout out to the Carter 5.
Shout out to the Carter 5. Shout out to Roman Reigns.
Myers Leonard.
Friend of the show.
In the show.
Fun fact, I was playing 2K today, and I was playing the Trailblazers, and I had to shit on Myers Leonard. So every time I'm playing against him, I'm like, yeah, get dunked on, friend of the show. So we had a good
Sorry, pal.
What if Kevin Harlan was like, and there goes Myers Leonard for the 3, front of the show.
Bang! Friend of the show.
Yo, one day in the future, he's going to see this and be like, these are some good guys.
Yeah, he's going to want to come on my show, our show. But yes, Colin Kaepernick article, please go and read that. It's actually a nice little piece that I spent some time to work on. I've had a lot of creative juices flowing, and read that shit, share that shit, listen to my shit. It's dope as fuck. Hunter's got some articles on there, and Steven's got a Ryan Tannehill thing that doesn't play the videos. Hopefully he'll fix that soon. Other than that, we will get right into the thick of things. Hunter, you look like you wanted to say something.
Nah, I just want to sing, but I'm not going to do it right now.
The NFC East sucks.
Yeah, 100%.
Holy shit, does the NFC suck. And when I was listening to the Podfather, Bill Simmons, talk on his show today, they were had a good conversation. They were like, which conference is worse or division is worse, the NFC East or the AFC South? One of these divisions is going to end up having a losing record going to the playoffs or an 8-8 team. But who is more than likely going to end up coming out of the NFC East at this rate?
Eagles.
You still think the Eagles are going to come out?
Yeah, for sure.
Even though
They're still the best team in the
I
NFC
picked the
East.
Cowboys to start the season, so I'm going to stick with the Cowboys.
The Eagles, I don't know if I can pick the Eagles anymore after they blew a 17-point lead to the Carolina Panthers
Super
last
Bowl
week.
hangover.
I feel like the Redskins are non-existent. I don't really hear.
They're
see
the
anything.
best in the division, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. I think they have the best record in the division, and they just end up winning. Alex Smith just knows how to not lose games.
That is a
apparently.
good quarterback, though. He is pretty good.
Yeah, he's the most average quarterback of all time. He doesn't do anything flashy. He can't throw the ball deep. He just hands the ball off.
Then the next quarterback that takes over takes him to the next level.
Exactly. That's usually how that goes. It's happened his whole career. When he left San Francisco, he lost his job to Colin
Cat,
Kaepernick,
yeah.
who literally would be put into the game in goal line situations so he could run the ball in. And then they realized he could throw.
Yeah.
Who
What
knew?
if the Redskins trade up and take Justin Herbert and head
And then Alex Smith is out. Alex Smith goes to the Giants.
That'd be some shit.
That'd be crazy.
Odell would be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, Odell would probably get the ball in slants all the goddamn time.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't have to throw the ball deep for Odell to do his work.
Alex Smith knows who to throw to. He just doesn't know how to throw to like everybody or all the routes. I mean, he can complete a deep pass, but he's just not there.
He can't complete them often because his
Yeah.
arm is as strong as a toddler.
Jaden could probably throw harder.
Jaden probably could throw farther than him at this point, and he's 4.
Yeah.
Steve, what are your takes on the NFC East being the only guy in this panel who is a fan of a team in the NFC East?
Well, the NFC East is probably the toughest division for the past maybe 5-6 years.
In what
They always
sense?
beat each other up.
In the sense of the team, there hasn't been a consistent leader in the NFC East ever.
Okay.
Really, it's always the Giants win the division, the Cowboys win the division, the Redskins will make the playoffs, the Eagles will make the playoffs, and it's just inconsistency all over the place. What makes the division, I don't want to say fun to watch, but what makes the division difficult
Interesting,
is the fact that every coach in that division is trash. Every single one of those coaches is absolute garbage.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm surprised any of them have a job. Pat Shurmur, who only is just new to that position, should already be fired. He is so bad, it's not even funny. Not even funny. Watching that Falcons game against the Giants, holy shit, what is he doing? Making piss-poor play calls, 2-point conversions. I just don't get what he's doing.
There were some good. He had some guys open. It was Eli.
Eli just couldn't get the ball to him, but still, it's like, it's 50-50. I could blame the play calling for calling piss-poor plays, and I could also blame Eli for not getting the ball to the open receivers.
You know what's crazy? When they're trying to do that goal line quarterback sneak, they were literally letting the clock run, my guy. Like,
Yeah, it's like
call
Andy Reid was coaching
timeout
him.
or spike it or something, dude.
It's literally like Andy Reid was coaching these motherfuckers, and I just really don't get it. I don't get how one division can harbor so many bad coaches.
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense to me. Staying on the topic of the NFC East, who won the Amari Cooper trade?
Amari Cooper.
I actually like Alfredo's answer there. Amari Cooper won the Amari Cooper trade. Because now Amari Cooper can get some balls thrown at him.
Hell yeah.
The Raiders.
I think you say the Raiders because they end up getting another first-round pick.
Yeah, that's exactly why. I think the Raiders, because Amari Cooper is a former first-round pick, and now they get 4 more years of control of another first-round pick, even though they were about to lose Amari after next season. So they just gained 3 years of control on a new rookie next year.
Yeah, but there's no wide receivers coming out in this draft that are even
It
worth
doesn't have to be a wide receiver. It could be
I know.
a defensive player. It could be,
Well, they're heads up. Spoiler alert: they're going after Nick Bosa.
yeah.
That's their number one guy.
Who's Nick Bosa?
He's Joey Bosa's younger brother, Ohio State. He's leaving Ohio State.
Is he a
for
quarterback?
Injury. He's a defensive end.
Okay.
He's going to be the guy that's going to get taken number 1 overall if the Raiders get that pick, because he's no longer going to want to say, "Oh, it's hard to find a pass rusher." It's very difficult to find a pass rusher these days. That's his guy.
And he's just basically trying to make his team. Because when he won the Super Bowl in Tampa, they're like, "Oh, you did it with Tony Dungy's team." He don't want to hear that shit. They're getting ready to go play in Vegas. They don't have a stadium next year, so let's see if they go to Vegas early.
Yeah, they got to figure that shit out. I really do think the Cowboys won this trade because what Steve and I were talking about earlier, it's like a lot of the players that got traded, like Josh Gordon, for instance, they probably could have gotten a first-round pick for him.
So do you think the Raiders and the Giants are just stacking draft picks?
I think the Raiders more so are stacking draft picks. The
My thing
the
is,
Giants are on a fire
Fire
sale,
sale.
which
Yeah.
is we're going to talk about that a little later.
Okay, yeah, because I had something to say about an Eli,
yeah,
but I'll
my
save
thing
that.
is why would you trade Why would you be willing to trade a first round for Amari, but only go as far as like a second for Earl Thomas? I don't get
Because
that.
Earl Thomas has been injured,
And then he got hurt.
and then he got hurt again.
If he didn't get hurt, he
Probably would have been gotten
be
traded
a-
for.
Yeah.
I just think the
And
Raiders
the only
having
reason
that
they
extra
offered
3
the
years.
first round pick is because the Redskins and Eagles in the same division were trying to get Amari too.
Yeah, so in order to prevent your division from getting him, you got to be the one that pulls the trigger. Which I completely agree with. If the Redskins are offering third-round picks and the Eagles are offering second-round picks, fuck that. Here's a first. Keep them away. We get a 24-year-old receiver who has a shit ton of potential. You now have a number one receiver. Dak doesn't need to throw the ball deep, but Amari Cooper can run short routes and run them actually rather well. Has a nice set of hands. The only inconsistency is some games he'll get 15 targets. Some games he'll get 2.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy that when they got to re-sign him, because if they got to re-sign him to say he has a really good year next year, they're gonna have to pay him. They're gonna have to pay Lawrence on defense. You're
Dan
gonna have to pay
Jones.
Zeke, Dak. At some point, you're gonna be strapped.
They're going to be able to dish out some money. I don't think...
You're paying your offensive line too. You paid Zach Martin, Travis Frederick.
All their contracts have been negotiated, restructured.
So they'll have some money to dish out to be able to pay everybody. They're definitely not paying Dak an incredible amount of money. There's no way they pay him a ridiculous amount of money like all these other quarterbacks are getting. He's probably going to get somewhere near what that Tannehill contract was, where it's it seemed like a lot of money, but only a small amount guaranteed. Zeke is going to get big money.
Oh, for sure.
We know that already.
For
Zeke's
sure.
going to get a Todd Gurley contract, if
Maybe
not
like
more.
$8 million.
I don't know,
And
for
they're
some
gonna
reason.
have money because they're not as tied down as they was when they had the Romo and Dez contracts.
Yeah. Amari Cooper, being that his career has been inconsistent, you're not going to have to pay him as much as you would an all-pro wide receiver. If Amari Cooper just gets 60 catches in a full season with the Cowboys, his job's done.
And he's not a diva, so he's not.
He's not going to be demanding the ball and be a
demanding the
cancer.
ball.
He's not going to be a cancer in the locker room. Which Steven and I were talking about, you mentioned that he drops a lot of balls. T.O. led the league in drops how many years?
How many catches did he
Almost
have?
like every year.
Yeah, but like I said, it's inconsistent play calling because some games he'll get 15 targets, some games he'll get 2. This year, the Raiders are only throwing to their tight end.
Like,
Jordy's not even getting
Jordy's
touches.
not getting any numbers. Amari Cooper's not getting any
Jordy,
numbers.
Martavis
Martavis Bryant's
Bryant.
getting no numbers. You have 3 potential number one receiver talents on your team, and you're throwing to your tight end every down. He's the number one wide receiver. 1650 in Bama in one season. All Pro Bowl wide receiver twice. The problem is, if you're not going to throw the ball to a Pro Bowl wide receiver, he is literally useless to you.
Plus, it opens it up for Cole Beasley in the middle, even though he was getting open in the middle. And now you have somebody to stretch the field, and you can get your other receivers.
All the Cowboys need
open.
now is a tight end. A decent tight end. And they'll be fine.
Yeah, Steven, I was just trolling you on the text message. I was telling Dylan that I actually like Amari Cooper, but I'm trying to see how mad you would get, and you sent 7 texts in a row.
High Hunter is high. All right. Now we get to the point where we start making Hunter angry.
I ain't gonna be angry. I don't know what you're talking about.
Sam Darnold versus Baker Mayfield. Now that we're about to be 8 weeks into the season, what do we all think?
Baker Mayfield's better.
Sam
Why do you think
Darnold.
Baker Mayfield's better?
It's not his. It's definitely it's definitely the Browns' fault. I'm trying to say because he was a defensive-minded coach.
No, he's not.
No, because
He's an offensive. He's a quarter. He's supposedly the quarterback
he's
whisperer.
He's basically a coordinator. He's offensive coach, and he's got Todd Haley.
I just think it's bad play calling.
Oh,
No.
you want to talk about bad play calling? You want to talk about the guy who wears 14 who wears green? So here's my thing. If you take a look at the Browns this year, how many games have they won?
1 or 2?
Okay, who have they beat?
I don't even remember.
So they beat the
The
Jets.
Jets and fuck,
And the
who did they
Raiders.
beat?
Because I think didn't their last
No, I thought
no.
they lost the Raiders.
'cause didn't their last 3 or 4 games they only lost by 3 or less. Except for that one Chargers game.
And then look at the difficulty of the schedule that they've had compared to Darnold. So if you want to talk about not having piss poor play calling, oh man, let's not open up that can of worms, because I can refer back to that Jets Browns game where they threw 14 wide receiver screens at the line of scrimmage, and me screaming into the microphone afterwards.
3 tosses to the same side.
Yeah, that works. So Baker has the better personnel around him, the better wide receiving core, the better running backs, the better tight end, and and you can arguably say the better defense. Mm-hmm. The better coordinators, the better position coaches. Jarvis Landry by himself is better than any receiver the Jets have.
That is true.
That itself is true. So for Darnold and the Jets to be scoring games in the 40s against higher talent teams than what the Browns are facing.
Baker Mayfield struggling against one of the crappiest secondaries in the NFL and losing.
All Tampa has is Gerald McCoy. That's it. Vernon Hargreaves is the number one corner, and heads up, not that good. You have Jarvis Landry, Antonio Callaway, David Njoku, Nick Chubb, Duke Johnson. All of those guys better than the Jets having Robbie Anderson, Jermaine Kearse, sometimes Chris Herndon, and Isaiah Crowell because Bilal Powell had season-ending neck surgery. At this point, I think Baker is the better personality and is better for the Browns than Darnold would be. But as a quarterback right now, Darnold, I think, is better. I know Hunter's about to pull out a QBR with Baker having a 78.6 QBR and Darnold having like a 76 QBR. Darnold having 10 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and Baker Mayfield having 7 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, correct?
Are we talking about the actual QBR or the made-up QBR by some network?
I think it's just the ESPN QBR.
No, that's not a real QBR. Get that crap out of here.
Actual quarterback rating.
Yes.
I'm talking about regular quarterback rating, the real one, not the fake one.
No, that's the real one.
The one that goes to 158.3, not the one that goes to 100.
No, yes. Because there's a couple games where one of those guys had over 100 as a rating. But I know Hunter was about to pull out those stats on me. Sam Darnold going 10 for 10 is to be expected. He's a gunslinger. He's going to throw that ball. He was the number one
quarterback in that draft. His only problem was interceptions.
Yeah, if Sam Darnold had Todd Haley calling his plays, different. Completely different. And the only reason the Jets lost that game is because they had no tape on Baker. Once teams got tape on Baker, they figured it out. Baker still has that swagger, and he's perfect for Cleveland, but Darnold is definitely the better quarterback.
And he's only getting praise because this team's won 2 games more than they have the past 2 seasons.
I don't get where all this Darnold love comes from. That dude's been throwing the ball like around and throwing interceptions and shit. He just makes the worst decisions sometimes.
And Baker Mayfield doesn't
Baker doesn't either? Did you watch that Raiders game?
I know, but I'm watching Sam Darnold games, and I'm like...
Are you also watching him play against better defenses?
I watch Baker Mayfield go against Baltimore, which is the number 1 defense, and do some shit.
How many turnovers did he have that game?
1.
Perfect.
There you go.
Can I talk about quarterbacks really quick?
Sure.
This year, have you noticed a lot of plays where the receivers throwing the ball for touchdowns?
Yes.
That's normal.
I've never really seen it more than this year.
Well, forgot this is like your worst year watching football, so.
Yeah, it's been happening a lot in the last 10 years. Once you implemented the Wildcat, that's when things started getting all hectic. And then you start introducing skill players who could throw the ball who were previous quarterbacks, a la like Brad Smith and Julian Edelman and shit, throwing the ball.
Usually has 1 passing touchdown once every season.
Yeah, so once you start introducing like those elements, you're like, oh, what else can we do out of this trickery? What else? Because people were realizing like once the Dolphins were doing the Wildcat, it was just running backs. Like, oh, wait, we could put a wide receiver who could throw the ball. So that's where that comes from. I think the level of talent that the Jets have played. I think the most talented team the Browns have played has been the Ravens. where the Jets have already played the Vikings, which is right on par with them, and then they also had the hotter offense. So it's not like the Jets are losing to bad teams. The only bad team he lost to is Miami.
And the Jets have actually beat a good team.
Yeah. We have. So, Darnold wins. I don't give a fuck about what anybody else says.
Oh man, so
Lit or shit?
is it lit or shit? Hey hey,
Is it lit? Is it lit or shit?
hey hey.
Lit or shit? Is it lit or shit? Hey, hey. All right, guys. Thank you for coming back for this episode of Lit or Shit. I am the boss baby. I am Dylan Barretto. I am here with 3 of my good friends, one of them having to be my big brother, and we are here to talk about things that are lit and things that are shit. I'm looking forward to this. This is sponsored by JumpShotTherapy.com. Please go visit, read the articles. We've done a good job on this stuff, so let's get this
Is it
ball
lit
rolling.
Shit.
All right, lit or shit. Juju Smith-Schuster tried to win the Mega Million by buying 100 lottery tickets to pay Le'Veon Bell to get him back on the team.
That's extra lit. That's extra lit.
That's super lit. That's the type of teammate you want going to the trenches with you.
Yeah.
If the team won't pay you, I will.
A fun thing about Juju Smith, he's also a challenge on NBA Live 19.
Good thing nobody plays that trash game, right? Fun fact, Ninja, the Twitch streamer, picked Juju Smith-Schuster #1 overall in one of his fantasy leagues. That's what friends are for. Hunter, lit or shit?
Lit.
Steven?
I think it's shit.
Why is it shit?
Because you'll find you'll pay him. He's still not going to show up.
Lit or shit, Brock Osweiler leads the NFL with the highest passer rating on 3rd down and in the 4th quarter as a starter. Minimum of 2 starts. Ryan Tannehill's
Well-
officially done. Lit or shit?
Well, as of the game that just happened, it's going to be shit.
So
Yeah,
do you
they're
think
gonna go back to
Tannehill comes
Tannehill.
back at some point and takes his
I-
job, or is
I
it?
think it comes back. I think that was the Osweiler didn't really play a good game. He should have had like 3 interceptions. I think the tryout is over, and the mysterious injury goes away, and he's back against the Jets next week.
Fun fact: the NFL is investigating that mysterious injury because the Dolphins didn't take the proper procedures when it came to it, as him participating fully in the practice beforehand, and that injury being super shitty and dumb. The Raiders are on full-on tank mode by trading Khalil Mack, Amari Cooper, and Derek Carr's probably next, even though he said he wasn't going to trade him. They're full-on tanking for Nick Bosa. Lit or shit?
Lit.
It's lit. You gotta be ready for Vegas.
Gotta be ready for Vegas, and Gruden's
Yeah,
on a
ready
10-year
for
deal.
Vegas.
The first
They play-
3 or 4 years probably gonna be a little shit, but
Playing out of UNLV Stadium next year.
Hunter.
So they're not gonna get their own stadium next year?
Vegas isn't
It's
done
getting
yet.
built.
Oh.
It's getting built, but they have no lease next year for the stadium they're at.
Yeah, because
So-
they don't have to pay all these guys, all these first-round picks that they traded away.
They
don't
might
have to-
be in San Diego.
Yeah, actually,
You think so?
They're
that's one of the
probably
options.
tied to some sort of deal, but
So after next season, the stadium would be done, technically.
Should be.
Not in Vegas.
right. No, but they
That's
don't have to
kinda
pay
like
all these
the-
first-round picks, so it'll be good to get new first-round picks for when you hit Vegas, because I think they're
The Vegas stadium is being built, but they have no lease for the stadium they're at next year. They could head to Vegas next year, but they'd be playing out of UNLV probably.
I think it'll be a conflict. No,
How?
because
No.
if UNLV plays on a Saturday, NFL's on a
Um,
Sunday,
Hello.
That's
they're gonna have to change the
hello,
logo.
The Rams and USC play in the same stadium. The
Oh, I
Dolphins
forgot. I
and the
did not
Hurricanes
really-
play in the same
okay.
stadium.
I didn't know that. Okay,
Jets
because
and
I know
Giants.
but the Jets and Giants they don't have a logo in the middle. It's literally the same field.
you could change that if there's
Yeah.
a logo in the middle of the field. You just paint it.
Yeah, that's.
That's all it is spray paint.
Oh, it
Because the
is?
Chargers and Rams, when their stadium gets
Because they think
built,
of it
they're
like
gonna
the
share
what's
it.
even high end is literally just
not
there.
many teams play on turf, especially that type of turf. Some people play on that. Turf.
Yeah, I hate that fucking turf. Those little black balls getting stuck in your cleats. Oh my god, those shits were annoying as fuck.
Yeah, that's just spray paint. They paint that shit. Like if you watch the beginning of the Michigan State game, the fucking Michigan player going out to the middle of the Spartan thing and kicking up the
dirt,
logo in the middle of the thing. All it was just spray paint, so I had to go out there and repaint it.
Oh god.
Hunter is getting up and walking
Taking the
away.
pee-pee. Oh, that Gator.
Hunter's going on a bathroom break.
Yeah, you might as well just whip
We
it on
didn't
pee in
even
the
trash
Gator.
Patriots players yet.
You might as well just
Yeah,
pee in the
we didn't do
Gatorade
that
bottle
yet.
and re-drink it.
And last but not least, this quote from Blake Bortles. It's like I'm the scapegoat for this team. Blake Bortles feels like he's a scapegoat every time the Jaguars do something bad. Is that litter shit?
That he feels like it?
He feels like he's the scapegoat.
He's lit because he is.
It's lit because...
Even though
Oh, go ahead.
the last two games, well, not the last two. Two of the last three games they played, it wasn't really his defense was getting shit on.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to be made the example, and Doug Marone's about to lose that locker room. But, like I said, my article on www.jumpshottherapy.com, new post, Colin Kaepernick needs to go to the Jaguars. Maybe
They
it's
need
time.
a trade for Teddy B.
You think the Saints are letting him go? You're wild.
They offer first.
They just traded for Teddy B.
Yeah, the Saints
For a
ain't
third.
getting rid of him. The Saints value him enough to take the reins from Breeze when he's done. They're going to backload the fuck out of his contract when this season's over. Is your mic muted still? Okay. Yeah, they're going to backload the fuck out of his contract when Drew Brees is like, I'm done. I chucked the ball real good. I think I can retire now. But Blake Bortles, they're going to make a move before the 30th on the deadline to do something. I think they should call Colin because why the fuck not?
And he's still dumb fit, too.
He goes out and trains every day. He's in football. The only thing we don't know is how much of a football shape he actually is.
I mean, you're never really in football shape unless you play football. Like, unless you're playing football.
He's not involved in any of the contact and anything, shoulder pads. He hasn't played.
I haven't played in like 2 years.
So we actually have to see where his accuracy is, see what he's actually doing. But I doubt he could be any worse than Bortles. Worst case scenario, he's just doing what Bortles is doing and running. And I think Kaepernick's better at running as a quarterback than Bortles is.
I think what's getting lost on a lot of people is that they lost their left tackle to start the season. So
I thought you were going to say more words. He just said that.
no, just saying they lost their left tackle.
And they lost they really don't have Fournette.
They basically lost their their whole offensive line for the season. They have 3 tight ends on injured reserve.
Damn.
They're on their 5th running back. They signed Jamal Charles. They cut his ass. They traded for Carlos Hyde.
Damn.
Which I saw that coming. I didn't see Hyde getting traded to the Jaguars, but I saw Hyde getting traded at some point this year because of Chubb. So we'll see how Chubb does. I want to keep that close to the vest and see how that man does. But Blake Bortles, if you hear me clearly and hear me good. You are the scapegoat. All right, guys, that was litter shit. Thank you all for coming by and listening. We've had a lot of fun telling you if things were flames or doo-doo emoji. So keep it locked. Go to jumpshottherapy.com, read some of the articles, follow the podcast, download that shit. We are out of here for litter shit. See you next time. All right. I love that so much. It doesn't get old. Let's talk about this New York Giants fire sale real quick. What the fuck are they doing?
Wait, first off, before you go on your tangent, I don't know, that there was a meme of Odell. He goes, "Wait, you mean we didn't trade them? We traded Eli Apple, not Eli Manning." So I don't know.
Yeah, Shefty tweeted out a post, I think it was half hour after the Giants trade. He's like, "So the Giants traded Eli." ... And yeah,
Apple.
they traded Eli Apple. Why anybody wanted Eli Apple is beyond me.
The Saints wanted him because of the caliber of teams with receivers they're going to be facing in the playoffs when they have to go up against the Rams and the team they're facing this week.
Minnesota.
Yeah, they're trying to get. They're not trying to accumulate picks towards the end of Drew Brees' career. I think they're trying to win now. Well,
They have the opportunity to.
But you have to have more people to cover.
The opportunity to. The Saints are Steven's Super Bowl pick, so Steven's rooting for him. And they just traded Snacks Harrison to Detroit. So let me get this straight. The New York Giants, who's filled with a division with running backs, gets rid of their run stopper. One of the best run-stopping defensive linemen in the NFL. Mind
And
you.
Pete Carroll said he'd pay for him to travel over there if he drives over there instead of flies over there. He'll take care of his travel plans.
Quick question. Who was that player that like he had like a respiratory infection or something that they couldn't fly, so he took the bus? Like the team paid him to take the bus to the game.
Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know Deshaun Watson last week? He had to
Oh, yeah, his lungs. Right. Shout out to Cousin Sal, friend of the show. At what point do the Giants trade Eli?
They don't trade him. I just think they just draft
What are you
a
gonna
quarterback.
trade for? What team's going to take him? And then what are you going to replace him with?
The Jaguars will take him, and then you...
The Jaguars won't take him. Because if he's doing the same thing in New York, what is he going to do with a worse receiving core and basically the same offensive line?
Tom Coughlin will just be like, I won Super Bowls with him. I'm old as fuck.
He ain't doing that shit.
Stay in school, kids. Worser's not a word.
High Hunter's high.
Nah, Steven said worser.
Is that all you're paying attention to?
Oh yeah, dude, I got caught on that shit. Like I've been thinking about it for the past like
He's
30
having
seconds.
fun ding-
Hunter's new
Doodling
iPhone
his
has
iPhone,
consumed him, and that's all he wants to
He's
do.
like, finally, a good phone.
He's like, God, there's so many things on here. He found emojis, and he.
You know what?
We told him.
Going from
What happened?
there should be a clip on YouTube. What I'm about to explain here.
What
The Samsung.
Late as fuck o'clock.
35.
Almost 2 o'clock.
35. Go ahead.
All right, the Samsung is kind of like the original quarter pounder for
I
McDonald's.
am going to cut it.
The Samsung is the original quarter pounder for McDonald's. This little thin thing. Nah, not a lot of shit. But the iPhone X Max, that shit's like the new quarter pounder with that new beef that they got.
Man, Hunter, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that was awful.
That was the worst.
Yeah, that's a good. I was looking at this thing.
God, punch him in the fucking face.
Wait, so the Android is a quarter pounder, while the
The original
XS
quarter pounder.
No,
this
it's
was,
it's a double quarter pounder.
no. He's saying because they changed the beef thing.
Yeah, I know. So it went from fake beef to real beef.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds good. Who is it?
First thing he did.
We should never give Hunter an iPhone. This is the biggest mistake of all time. The Raiders fire said he's not worthy. Jesus Christ, this is a mistake. I was telling Fredo when he first got here, I was like, man, I was going to try to get a bet going at some point where Hunter had to get an iPhone.
Yeah, that's true.
Now I don't feel like I want anything. Even though I got what I wanted, this is the biggest mistake of all time.
Remember, he's getting his cherry popped.
Wait, just real quick.
All the stuff.
He's not even getting his cherry like really popped. He's just like underneath the bleachers and someone's finger banging him. This is what it's like to have fingers inside me.
Wait, quick. Did you ever finish those Big Macs?
Oh, what?
Did
You finished those Big Macs?
I ate like 3 of them.
Yeah, after a while you gotta throw them away.
Yeah, that's probably tomorrow.
Jesus Christ, Hunter. So that's why even when you win a bet, you lose.
Exactly.
You gotta eat all the fries first because you can't reheat them.
The best thing is that picture ended up getting 45 reactions on Facebook, 35 something reactions on Instagram, and people were coming up to me at my job. They're like, "That was awesome." Yeah. They're like, "That's how you." He's like, "Even though you lost the bet, you won the bet." I was like, "You're damn fucking right, I did." And one of the guys who works for me thought Hunter was black. Who knew? I was going around. He's like, "Oh, let me see that picture again." He goes, "Who's that?" I was like, "That's Hunter." He's like, "Is that the guy on your podcast?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I didn't know he was white."
That's great. Oh man.
Where can you get that from?
I think I'm Barry White.
Deep voice, and apparently black people got deep
He
voices.
doesn't sound like, oh my god.
Nah, not at all.
Moving along.
We already discussed this a little bit. We can do this as a passing topic. The Raiders fire sale. They're literally just preparing to go to Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Getting rid of everything. John Gruden controls this draft.
Mm.
100% controls this
I
draft.
don't think it's smart.
And I feel like it's actually pretty smart to do.
I mean, but when
He knows he's not going to compete this year. And the expectation was he's going to compete. So he's throwing out the idea that there is any expectation. And
but
creating the
him
expectation.
drafting.
John Gruden doesn't draft bad.
But he also said Baker Mayfield. I mean, Johnny Manziel is good.
Everybody was, to be fair. To be fair, everybody was saying Johnny Manziel was it. So sometimes you're
Johnny
right, sometimes you're
Manziel.
wrong. But he also liked everybody who got picked in the first round. So John Gruden's literally just getting rid of every expectation now. So when he gets to Vegas, he has his team set up, and then he could win with his team. Nick Bosa is going to be fantastic. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up getting Joe Jackson too, drafting 2 edge rushers, maybe a quarterback later.
Because Carr's solid. They're just not.
Carr's solid, they just don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
The play calling is trash. But, they're not going to find any wide receivers really. Running backs, they maybe will get something a little bit later. I don't think they get Herbert a quarterback, but they could get a homeboy out of Washington.
I think Herbert goes to the Giants.
It all depends. It all really depends how the sticks fall.
Will Greer.
Because I don't think the Giants will probably win one more game in the season. That's it.
I think the Giants win 2 more games. But I won't pick them because I said I wouldn't. But if I'm a team looking for a quarterback, I think you just wait 1 more year.
Really?
Just wait 1 more year.
Who's the year after?
Tua Tagovailoa out of Bama. Left-handed quarterback who's an absolute fucking stud who hasn't even played in the 4th quarter yet.
How about homeboy from Clemson?
I like him. He's got a strong
He has a
arm.
fucking
He's a
cannon.
freshman.
Yeah, he's 6'7", 6'6".
He's a freshman. Yeah, he's got a rocket.
Fuck.
But he needs some time to develop.
Yeah, he needs to learn how to
He's got a
throw
fucking
the ball.
rocket.
Hell yeah.
I was
watching
watching
that
that
game. I'm like, what the f? It's like, how are you throwing it that deep?
He's got a fucking cannon. But Tua Tagovailoa is
That's a tongue twister. Try saying that like 5 times fast.
Tua Tagovailoa, Tua Tagovailoa, Tua Tagovailoa, Tua Tagovailoa, Tua Tagovailoa, Tua Tagovailoa.
All right.
Suck my dick! Nah, that dude's a fucking stud. What is he, like 6'1", Steven? 215? 6'1", 215? Left-handed,
Passer.
pure fucking pocket passer. He hasn't played a 4th quarter yet.
Why not?
Because they go up so much he doesn't need to play.
Kind of like Steph Curry.
22 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Wow, that's really good.
25 touchdowns, 45 incompletions.
Even better.
Holy shit.
That motherfucker's the real deal. And Bama quarterbacks don't really do good.
They're more of a running back
Hasn't
team, right?
really gotten a chance.
They haven't had a chance to be like quarterbacks.
AJ McCarron, and he's never gotten a chance. He was also on the way.
Maybe, fun fact, maybe since Derek Carr likes to cry when he's on the field, AJ McCarron gets a chance. And then AJ McCarron can be the starting quarterback I know he can be. That I want him to be. Right, Hunter? We like AJ McCarron around here.
Yes.
Thanks, hi, Hunter. All right. Moving on to something that I know hurts Hunter's heart.
Picks.
No. Sony Michel, injured. Not too serious, from what I've read. He will be out for a few games, but his knee is just a little fucked up. How do you feel, Hunter?
Feel way better than I did on Sunday.
Fun fact: 2 things happened that game that Hunter said wouldn't happen.
Oh man.
A Sony Michel fumble and a Sony Michel knee injury.
He said that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, Hunter said that wouldn't happen, and I said they might. I said Sony Michel's 1 knee injury away from being kind of fucked. And he's like, no, a lot of NFL players have knee injuries. Sony Michel just had a knee injury and he fumbled on the same play.
I don't think he's fucked though.
He may be out for a while. Maybe out for a good amount of time.
He's week to week.
He's definitely not going to be out for as long as Bilal Powell is, though. Bilal Powell, season's over.
I can say Bilal Powell, but
Yeah, but you can't say Tua
I can say
Tagovailoa.
Tua Tagovailoa, no problem. Tua Tagovailoa.
say that
But
again.
Bilal Powell, I really have to sit here and
Bilal Powell,
enunciate.
Bilal Powell.
It doesn't happen.
It was off, all right,
It's,
moving right along.
it's trash. Bilal Powell had a season-ending neck injury that potentially is ending his career.
Yeah.
So you got it better off.
Like Jermichael Finley.
But Bilal Powell has also been a Jet for the last 7 years and has never got a chance to be a starting running back. This is supposed to be his chance, and like I said to everybody, Isaiah Crowell is going to be the guy. And sure enough, Isaiah Crowell has been the guy. Is this the worst year for the brand? For the kickers?
Oh yeah, for sure.
This is the worst year of all time for kickers.
Justin Tucker missed a fucking extra point.
Justin Tucker fucked me.
The most accurate kicker of all time, never missed an extra point.
Finally.
Missed the extra point.
Finally.
Didn't they say what 222 before he missed his first field goal?
Something like that. He has never missed in his career.
That's crazy.
And not only does he miss, he loses the
The
game.
game.
Pressure is real.
Fuck you, Justin Tucker. You fucked me.
What team does he play for?
The Ravens.
That's what you get for undermining me when I say I hate when we were in the draft. I hate it when motherfuckers say Justin Tucker. And guess who goes in there before? You did, and guess who got fucked?
He goes, and I quote, man, there's 2 people that I hate when he gets drafted. When Dan Bailey gets drafted, when Justin Tucker gets drafted. I hate that shit.
And then they drafted Justin fucking Tucker.
I either draft Dan Bailey or Justin Tucker in my leagues every year, and every time I do Steven's league, I make sure I take one of those motherfuckers. And I know it's real near to his heart, because then he gets mad. All right, before we get to picks, I got one more thing. Who are the real contenders and who are the pretenders in the NFL right now?
Definitely the Rams are
The
contenders.
Rams, I think, are the biggest contender.
The Rams, the Chiefs, the Saints.
You call the Chiefs a contender.
Yeah.
They're pretenders for me.
I think in a playoff
Patriots.
setting, they're pretenders.
And the Chargers.
I think in the playoff setting, the Chiefs are a pretender. Depending on who they go against and where they are,
So are the Chargers.
it all is about the favorable matchups. I feel like if
Home field.
they end up getting home field advantage and they play the Patriots, I think they beat them.
If they have to go to Foxborough, they lose.
If they go to Foxborough, they lose, but if they go to Arrowhead, they win. And I think that's a guarantee. If they end up playing the Chargers, I think they lose. I think they had a little bit of a rougher time. If they play anybody in the AFC South, they'll win. The AFC North, I think, can give them problems too. Depending on who it is.
Who's the AFC North besides Cincinnati?
The Ravens and the Steelers.
Okay.
I feel like the Ravens
I
can end up
think
pushing
the
the
Ravens
defense.
would be an interesting matchup.
I think the Steelers will be able to compete with them on offense. That'll be a shootout. Because neither one of those defenses are going to play. But the Steelers do have a better defense of the two. But as far as the Rams go, as a contender, I maybe feel like the Rams maybe lose one more game.
They face the Chiefs week 11.
They face the Saints and the Chiefs soon in New Orleans, and then they host the Chiefs soon coming up.
I feel like one of those games they lose, and I don't think it's the Saints game.
There's always one year where like one team goes undefeated through like 11 weeks or something, and then
Well, they already have one loss.
huh?
Don't the Rams already know? The Rams
No,
are
they're
made the
undefeated.
Super Bowl.
Rams are the
Shit.
only undefeated team.
Okay, so. Oh shit, you're right. That's rough. I think they could go into the Superdome and win that.
I know my Packers playing the Rams
And guess
next
what?
week.
They're gonna lose.
I don't think so.
Of course you don't think
against
so.
them for once.
If you want to get back into this, you don't pick your
Yeah,
Packers.
if you want to surpass Hunter, you don't pick your Packers.
You gotta pick the Rams there. That's the smartest pick.
You
They're not
complain
winning
about their
that.
defense every week.
Spoiler alert,
Yeah,
picking
you
the
don't pick
Packers.
against them.
Jesus
Now's the week
Christ.
to pick against them.
Yeah, out of all the weeks, this is it.
I'm
Just
picking
pick
the
against them.
Even though you know the Packers are gonna lose, you're still gonna pick them.
Yeah.
Oh,
That makes sense. It doesn't help you out. It's called a reverse jinx. You know, if you pick your team to lose, then they win.
I don't believe in
thought about that?
superstitions.
Dickless.
yeah. The only team I think that can beat the Rams right now is the Chiefs. But that'll be a hell of a shootout. But that Rams defense also is real.
And you know what? They can have a problem in the dome.
I know they could. Most teams do. But I don't think they will. Because the Saints defense isn't playing with the Saints defense of last year.
The Rams defense, you could throw on them.
True. That's why I say that. That's why I think the big problem is going to be the Chiefs game. But that's enough of that. Let's go to what people want the most. That was loud. The predictions.
You can do the results first?
As of right now, Steven still in first place, 65-40-2. Hunter, 57-47-2. Me, 53-51-2. And Fredo, 52-53-2.
He's ahead of you by one game?
No, I'm ahead of him.
Oh.
I'm ahead of him by one game.
And I'm ahead of you by 4.
4, yes. But we all won a Thursday night game. So, round of applause for everybody. The curse is over. And I think the rest of the Thursday night games for the rest of the year are all garbage, so I think we can all win those too. Alright, the point spread for the Houston-Miami game, Houston was favored by 7.5 points.
I think they won.
I think they covered that spread just fine. Alright, Philadelphia at Jacksonville. Philadelphia is favored by 3.5 points, and I am taking the Eagles.
This is a much needed trip for Sir Blake. He's in the play. He's basically in his homecoming game, London, England.
The best quarterback to ever play in London.
The best quarterback to ever play in London. I'm going with the Jaguars.
The last few times I picked the Jags, they lose, so I'm gonna give them one more chance before I stop picking them. So I'm gonna go for the Jags.
Give me the Eagles.
Alright, thank you, Hunter, because I was not prepared to do Lone Ranger at this point in time. I was racing my phone like shit, I was supposed to make me fun. Right. Baltimore Ravens at Carolina Panthers.
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 I'll take the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Panthers.
Sweet. Again, I was not prepared for the Lone Ranger. So let me type in Panthers for everybody. Denver at Kansas City.
Give me Kermit the Frog.
My name is Patrick
My man back in my home.
Patrick Mahomes.
Kansas City.
Denver.
Really?
Oh, he's trying to play catch up now.
I think I just wanted to see if I was ready. I think that's what that really was.
Trying to make you better here.
You trying to make me better? Are you alright? Can I make you better?
You make me better.
I don't want to get copyrighted. Cleveland at Pittsburgh.
Steelers.
Give me the Steelers.
Steelers.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, nobody believes in
Oh,
these
yeah.
Browns, huh?
I pick them almost every week.
Yeah, this is actually the first week Fredo has not picked the Browns. Fun fact. The first week he has not picked the Browns. Seattle at Detroit.
Detroit.
Give me Seattle.
Go Seattle.
Detroit.
Seattle is favored by 3 points for this
Yeah,
game.
they're both 3-3, so yeah, it could go either way.
Tampa Bay at Cincinnati.
Cincy.
Give me them Bengals.
The Tigers.
Tampa Bay.
What?
Yeah, here.
Oh, you weren't ready for that one.
Hunter, Lone Ranger. The team with no secondary. The Jets at the Bears.
Give me them Bears.
Give me the Jets.
The Bears.
The Jets.
Ooh, the Beretta boys are at it again.
I don't. The Bears secondary is the Bears defense has been exposed the last couple of weeks.
And Mitch Trubisky is going against a better
and-
defense this week than last week. And that Patriots defense shut down the receivers for a lot of the game. Jets have better secondary. Jets have better run stop. The Bears don't know how to use their running backs.
Who the Jets got at corner?
Wish I could tell you. I wish I could tell you who had that corner, but all I know is I got Mr. President up there wearing 33, and I'm okay with
They
that.
got Claiborne.
Yeah. Washington racial slurs versus the New York Giants.
You're the Redskins.
Yeah, give me these Redskins. I'm never picking the Giants again. Hunter?
Give me the Giants.
Really?
Fuck, I thought I was gonna have a Lone Ranger because I'm picking the Giants. Oh,
We are split here.
I think all this shit, the bad news are talking about fucking New York.
You guys really think the Giants are going to win after they traded their run stopper and all that stuff?
Yeah,
They're not-
then
he just didn't fit their
Alabama
scheme.
Come out and shit the bed like they have so far this season. They win the game and they lose a game they had no business losing.
Hey, they won a game they had no business winning on Sunday. Got him. Indianapolis at Oakland.
You're the Raiders, man.
Really?
I don't know why. I just wanna.
You literally pick them every week.
I do. All right, one more time for the culture, man.
Steven?
I'm. This is a horrible game.
It is.
I don't think so. They got T.Y. Hilton back.
Oh, the T.Y. Hilton. Give me the Colts.
T.Y. played last week.
Give me the Colts.
Wait, what?
T.Y. Hilton's playing.
Oh, yeah, the
T.Y.
Colts.
Hilton played last week. Hunter, do you have a pick?
I said the Colts.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
All right. Fredo with the Lone Ranger. Now for the
That song reminds me of Red Dead Redemption coming out tomorrow morning or this morning.
Now for the Dylan Barreto must not watch game of the week. The San Francisco 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals.
Give me the birds.
Can I just take a loss? I don't know. I don't want to fucking pick this
Do
game.
ties work?
Can we all pick ties and not have to worry about this?
I'll take the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm also taking the Cardinals.
I'm going to take the 49ers.
Cardinals.
Ooh, Hunter's being bold here. High Hunter's bold. High Hunter's either going to end up being like a solid second place or a very bad last place. He's going to regret this immediately
Yep.
after he's disgracing Anna's family.
Yeah. What will your family think of you?
You dishonored your family. Aww. Packers Rams.
Cheesy heads.
Yeah, I'm going with the LAR.
He didn't fucking. He don't have the balls to pick against his own team.
Nope.
It's not even a matter about the balls. He's just being blinded.
Wow, what an idiot!
He knows they're gonna lose.
No,
He knows they're gonna lose. Then he's gonna complain about their defense.
No, I don't.
But yeah, you're gonna complain about their defense.
Our defense is terrible.
The defense.
Yeah, you're going against the top 2 offense in the league.
Hey, listen,
All right, well, we have
if
bad
they
defense in
lose-
general.
If you pick them to lose, and
They'll
they
win.
lose, you win.
Yeah, honestly, Hunter.
I'm trying to beat Hunter, okay?
Picking the Rams. Well,
I'm picking the Packers, too.
If you're trying to beat Hunter, you'd pick the fucking Rams.
I'm going with that bad man, Aaron Rodgers.
Y'all are dumb.
Or you full of.
Y'all
I'm going with the Packers.
Are y'all serious? Oh,
Here's a bet:
God.
if the Rams win, you have to give your phone back.
Okay.
Oh, who he play for? All right, the best game, the second
This
best.
is the
game of
recording.
week. New Orleans Saints versus the Minnesota Vikings. Give me Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints.
Saints.
I'm taking the Saints for revenge. They're also in a dome, which doesn't
they're in Minnesota. So you
It's
know.
not, yeah, Minnesota in a dome, which is not really an away game if they're playing a dome.
Well, I have a weird feeling who Fred was going to pick, so let me get the music loaded up. Well,
Vikings.
all right, and for my lock, the guarantee of the week, Patriots Buffalo.
Patriots.
Patriots.
Give me the bit. No, let me get the Patriots.
You know they didn't. You know they didn't beat Buffalo last year.
Yeah, well, they got fucking.
Oh, they're gonna beat them this year because I'm picking the Patriots.
I was about to say, who's their quarterback right now? Derek Anderson. Come on. Come on now.
What an awful Monday night game.
Ooh. Yeah, I really,
God, boy.
I really wish they would flex this for Green Bay, Los Angeles, but you know, I don't know. I'd rather one of the good teams be on Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football this week's gonna be awful. No one's gonna watch it. Fucking awful. All right, fellas, we got anything else?
What did Hunter pick?
I'm Gooch.
You pick the Patriots?
Patriots.
Yeah, 100 pick Patriots.
Of course.
Anything else we'd like to talk about before we head the fuck out of here?
No, I'm good.
Hunter looks like he's trying to. I think Hunter's trying to put sentences together right now, and he's struggling.
No, I'm just
He's ready to go home.
tired. It's late night.
All right, guys.
Tired of being high.
Shout out to Myers Leonard.
Never
friend
tired
of
of
the
being
show.
high on life.
Shout out to the Carter 5.
Shout out to ShannonsDay.com.
Shout out to ShannonsDay.com. You know what? I'm going to shout out another friend of mine who does a blog.
Shout out to Sony Michelle's knees. Shout out to James White. Shout out to Tom Brady's arm. Shout out to Tom Brady's.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh my god,
Balls.
we completely skipped James White being a top 5 receiving back. Good thing we did because it's not real. All right. Next
Shout
thing.
out to.
Shout out to Abella Anderson. Shout out to
Shout out to Carter 5. Shout out to Dime Trap. More specifically, shout out to Laugh At 'Em and Wraith. Go listen to those songs, ladies and gentlemen. Those are two of my favorite songs off of T.I.'s album.
Shout out to Red Dead Redemption 2.
Shout out to Leukemia and Roman Reigns.
Shout out to Black Ops 4. No, Black Ops 4 isn't even that good at all.
Now the Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, he already said shout out to Red Dead Redemption 2.
I didn't hear him.
Shout out to the Boston Red Sox up
Shout
2
out to
nothing.
the people that play Dragon Ball Fighters. You know who you are.
Shout out to Karis LeVert.
Shout out to our Karis LeVert actually having a very good season.
I'm trying to tell y'all.
No, you're not. You're always trying
I'm
to
trying to tell y'all,
You're trying to
Karis
make
LeVert.
bets about Marshawn Brooks. You're
What
ignoring
did I
Karis
say?
LeVert.
It's
that
alright.
shit out your fucking mouth. The football
Karis LeVert,
podcast.
sleeper for All Star.
Shut the fuck up with the
You're
fucking
done.
basketball.
Sleeper.
We'll talk about that next week, but that's definitely not happening. There's too many good shooting guards in the East for that to
He
happen.
could play
I
with
would-
three.
I would take Jalen Brown over him.
You're,
And I don't like Jalen Brown.
you're drunk.
You're dumb. Shout out to It's Bree, one of my other friends' little blog.
The
So,
cheese?
It's Bree. Brianna Hernandez. It's Bree, Shane's Day. Go to bars. Full of very nice girls. And they support the podcast. Friends of the show. Just like Myers Leonard.
Not as
I'm
big
Dylan
though.
Gordo. I am the human hot take. I am the boss baby. I am with Muslim Goku.
Yep.
Human sweater vest. Fun fact, he changed his one of his names on Twitter to the human sweater vest. And I actually really appreciate that.
I was hoping one y'all would notice that too.
I did. Shout out to Bob
They ain't gonna be a
Bobak.
sweater vest no more.
Yeah, when he gets his he'll still be a sweater vest. He just will have holes in his nipples. Shout out to Bob Bookbag, big brother.
Book bag.
Shout out to the newest member of the Dark Side, Hunter Davis.
Yep.
Do you have a song for us, Hunter? You're gonna take us out.
Somebody give me a song.
Careless Whisper by George Michael.
I'm never gonna dance again. It's easy, I got no rhythm. No, it's easy to pretend. I know you're not a fool. Could have been.
What are you doing?
I made eye contact with you.
Shout out to Carmex for keeping our lips not chapped.
Shout out to Michael Bolton.
Shout out to the Sexy Sax, man. We're jump out there. We're out of here.